With the game industry at $300 billion out there, we've seen a giant increase in microtransactions and cosmetics you can purchase for your games. Loot boxes are on the rise, but the newest gimmick coming out of possibly GTA 6 is the idea that we're going to end up paying per hour to play the game. Do me a favor, like, share, subscribe, and we will go through the process here of unraveling this little mystery of GTA 6. Well, we all know GTA 6 is one of those games that's on the horizon that's going to do things that we've seen with Grand Theft Auto 5, where it's going to be one of the biggest celebrated streamed games out there on the market and be played for years to come. But it seems that Strauss Zelnick didn't say games should be priced per hour, but he is right about their value. This is the opinion piece from the game industry. The Grand Theft Auto 6 publisher repeats the view that premium video games offer good value for the money. We've already seen the effects on newer games, where most new games now in Canada are at that $80 value, or down in the States from the $60 to $70 value. You're seeing a drastic increase across the board on many games, and it seems Grand Theft Auto 6 might be going higher for the idea of that value. A story has been doing the rounds with Strauss, the CEO of GTA publisher Take-Two, thinks that games should be priced per hour. Imagine paying $5.99 an hour to play video games. Well, I gotta say, this isn't an idea that's new. This is something that happened back in the early 2000s and the late 90s, where you used to go to a cyber cafe to play games. And you would sit there, play on a LAN server. You could play StarCraft and play against your friends. You could run around in Diablo. You could play many different games this way per hour. But that's the difference here, was they had a plethora of games that you could play. You were using equipment that the store bought. You're using their computers. You're able to buy coffee. You're able to do these things. But now they're suggesting games in the future could be priced per hour for you to play the game. That is an absolute travesty, because a lot of people have now sat there and they've moved away from the cyber cafes. They moved away from that model because it was a failing model then and will be a failing model going forward. To sit there and put a meter clock on my computer and tell me that I can only play a game for a certain length of time, I already pay the internet, the power, everything that you can think of to do this. And that already has a toll per hour. As it is, I was recently talking with someone. For me, just per month to actually run this channel takes about $200 to $400 a month when I calculate the cost, the space, and the amount of equipment that is required. When I have to sit there and think of the amount of just internet alone and the power that the system with the lighting actually comes down to, there's an hour usage here. And it's something that is, like I said, is not new. This has come from a quote from Take-Two's quarterly 2 earnings, when the call to Goldman Sachs analyst asked Zelnick, I think it's Zelnick, for his views on the subscription pricing in the broader entertainment market. He answered actually doesn't suggest games should be priced hourly. Instead, his response is simply that the same long-held view from executives in this business, that video games, broadly speaking, are good value for the money because of the depth and, yes, length of experience. So the idea behind this is that the higher or longer the game is going to go on, the more money it should milk you for. It should be, if the game goes 100 hours, you should pay $1 per hour, and that's a $100 game. That's the idea that they're suggesting here. If you were to sit there and call this for Starfield, using Starfield as a prime example here, with the open worlds, the flat surfaces, and the long distances it takes to actually play through a lot of the game that are just barren wastelands. Imagine if you had to pay per hour to play Starfield. Those steps that you would be taking that took hours upon hours to get across a planet or across the universe or across space-time, that adding into the value of the game it's actually a piss poor way of judging how good a game is. I think these ideas are just bunk. It is a game worth $80. Well, when it gets up into the $80 to $100, I sit back and I say, okay, is it worth paying this? Is this game actually going to be good? Recently, there was Lies of P. That game is absolutely amazing and I think was worth the value. And I know it just went on sale for 20% off. So that 20% off is a great point of to pick it up. And also anyone that's wishlisted, they put 20% off so it hits your email. So when it comes to gaming, you know, the value of the game is going to be translucent to what you're going to get out of it. Are you going to experience something that is absolutely amazing? When it comes down to a lot of these games, I wouldn't get to play them without this channel. So thank you everyone for doing that. And don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you again very, very soon. I'm your Proud Canadian Phoenix signing off here, and I will catch you next time.